What is good, everybody, man? Welcome back into the Bluebloods as we continue our FCS player spotlight for the 2023 season. We are joined by my guy, Daylan Dotson, UT Martin defensive lineman, was a preseason Bluebloods FCS All American last year, earned FCS All American honors from the Coaches Association, was a Hero Sports sophomore All American, and unanimous first team All Conference selection by the Bluebloods, the coaches in the OVC, and Phil Steele as well. Won FCS National Defensive Player of the Week last year in October, and also won it again earlier that season. Man, Dalen, appreciate you for hopping on the show.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me on the show, man. Thank you for having me.
I want to go way back though, man. Coming out of Georgia, you achieved a lot, man. Over 120 career tackles, 27 tackles for loss. You were all region. You were one of the top 100 players in South of Georgia in terms of prospects. What was your recruiting process like looking back now?
My recruiting process, it was kind of shaky. I had a couple schools that come to my school to see me or hit me up on Twitter, send me mail, but it was not really a firm. I got like 3, 4 offers, but I committed to Alabama A&M early in my career, but they had took my commitment. So, like UTM called me like 2, 3 days before signing day, and I just took a chance on them. That's really how that went for real.
You come in, your freshman season is the COVID season, which is one of the weirdest seasons probably in college football history, especially for the FCS, having to play in spring, never knowing if you were going to have a game each week due to cancellations. How difficult was that season to be your true freshman season in college?
Man, I mean, it was very difficult. It broke our hearts when we heard that we didn't have a season. So, like, we was practicing, we was showing up. Everybody. We still going like we have a season. We still watching film, having team meetings, having team lists. But when they told us that, it just broke our hearts. It's like we was at school, we really didn't have nothing to do for real, but just keep working on everything. But like we played in that upcoming spring, it was like it just felt like a different feel. It was like, yeah, we ain't played in a while. It's a new team. We bring it back together and like I'm really grateful for those 6, 7 games we got in the spring because that really brought me into college for real, for real.
When you got to UT Martin, man, you guys had so much talent on that defense. I mean, whether it was yourself, whether it was Rob Hicks, whether it was John Ford, man, there were so many guys that ended up being all Americans, winning big awards. When you came in as a young guy, how important were some of those older guys in terms of your development and kind of showing you the ropes, which ultimately led you to becoming the All American you are?
I mean, it was they were very important. Like guys like David DeBose, Austin Pickett, like those are guys like in the D line room. Corbin Hartman, Kevin Brown. They like helped me like prepare me or like inform me into a Manford when I first came to college. I'm out of Savannah trying to be a Savannah kid, but like they helped me say it's more outside of life than Savannah. So they were showing me how the ins and outs of the game, the technique and the steps, and that's what helped me bring up. And when they left, they told me like it's my time now. They impended me all the C's. They told me what I had to do, and I'm just trying to take the team on forward from there.
2022 was that year for you, man. All American honors, first team All OVC, Hero Sports Sophomore All American. What clicked for you this season?
I mean, what kicked for me for real was like the coaches that we had just entrusted me for real. Like they gave me the spot. They told me I was starting in once. I've been fighting for it for like a year and a half. So once I got it, I was like, yeah, this is my time. Like God doesn't always answer when you call him, but like when you need it, like that last year was just my needed season. I feel like it was me. I feel like I was a guy up. So with just prayer and everything, I just blessed to be in that position. So when I was in that position, I just thrived for real.
When you look at last year, man, you guys won back your second straight OVC championship, man. It was co-champs with SEMO. When you look at those two teams, man, when did you know how special those two teams could have been in terms of winning the conference championship and then in 2021 winning only the second playoff game in school history?
I mean, the 2021 team, I knew it was special because when we had our quarterback Keon Howard, it was just like a different leadership in practice. Like he was one of the guys like we'll always step to. Like if he's saying something, like Arab, like if he's on you or you're making him mad, like we gonna think that you're in the wrong because like he was that guy for us. Like he was one of the main leaders. Then the 22 season, like guys like John Ford, Rob Hicks, D Sims, like our defense, the 22 season was like it was more like me because it was like it's a lot of people that played that we feel like we was getting overlooked or feel like we just had a point to prove that year. Like that's how it's gonna be this year again. It's just last year like Rob Hicks, John Ford, they really like they really set the standard here. They really set the standard for me here.
Last year it was a weird year, and I always hate this, man. I've been on the show. I can't stand. I understand it has to happen due to some conference, setups in the FCS, but I think everyone should have to play each other to determine that conference championship. When you guys lost that coin toss, man, and they sent SEMO to the playoffs and didn't put you guys in, man, that put a chip on this team's shoulders in 2023 to get back to the playoffs and show that, man, we belonged last year.
Yeah, that kind of hurt, man. Like, even though that day we won the OVC championship, like after the coach came and told us what happened, or after we seen what happened, like the cheering started dying down. Everybody just went back to their rooms, like, cause that's what we really want to play for. Like, win the OVC sweep, but like everyone trains hard to go to the national championship. Like, that's the thing around here. Like, we don't train just for the OVC. Like, that what made us more mad. And then we had to split it with someone that we couldn't even play for real. So it's like you put other teams on our schedule. Like, we could have just played SEMO, you know. Feel like that would have been a great game between us, but they didn't give us that chance. So like this year is like we not like this, like it's our villain year for real. That's what I've been telling Deeps for real. Is like they tried us last year. Like they didn't give us a chance. They just like we fell out of the rankings. Like we be seeing the rankings. Like our whole team gets mad. Like we don't rank. We not like they not even looking at us at all. So like we trying to put a statement for this year. We trying to put a statement. This our statement year for real. For real.
And I love to hear the motivation. I do believe, man, if they would have made that UT Martin SEMO game a first round game, that would have been one of the most hyped games of that first round. I definitely
Yeah,
think they should have
man.
looked into that. Definitely, man. But looking at just this team, man, you are stepping into that leadership role. You mentioned all the names in your answer earlier, but you're that guy now where guys are going to be looking to you as one of those top leaders of the entire team. What are you doing to prepare yourself to step into that leadership role for the Skyhawks?
Man, I'm just keeping my head down, just keep working. I know that, like, I'm not like, yes, some of my coaches say I'm a good vocal leader, but like, I'm trying to just lead by example. I know if I put my head down and go to work every day, I know the guys behind me put my head down and go to work every day. Because last year, the leaders I had, they were telling us like our linebackers, because they was like leaders of the D line for real. So it was like, however you play, if you going hard, I'm going hard right behind you. So I just took that in my head. I just put in my mind, like, I know if we work out in the morning, like I try my hardest. I'm like I be trying to go so hard. I be drained after workouts. I look to some of my teammates, tell them to put a little bit more weight on the bar, because I know if I'm in here going hard, you going hard with me, it's nothing can stop us.
Your former defensive coordinator now, man, Chris Polizzi, man, he took that Tulsa job this offseason, man. Looking back with him, how instrumental was he in helping you develop as a defensive lineman?
Man, Coach P set the standard. Coach P, like every day he'll tell you the same thing. Like he was one of those type coaches. Like he'll tell us what the standard was. He'll tell us what we had to do. He was like he helped us more with stuff off the field than on the field. I can say like yes, he was a great coach. Yes, he knows the X's and everything. But like you can come talk to him. Like it was plenty of times I came talk to him in his office when it was like certain times where I was that freshman that wanted to play but wasn't getting in. He was just like you just gotta keep your head down, keep going. It's a journey. This is what makes life more interesting. So like ever since I seen that process, like me and Coach P, we have a great relationship. I was actually happy for him that he took that job.
Man, I've kind of got to follow his journey just, from a distance covering FCS football. And I mean, the opportunity couldn't have came for a better guy. And I think both of us knew it was coming eventually. But you're in great hands, man. Coach Brandon Butcher steps in that position, been around the program, going to keep that standard up. Playing under him, man, are you expecting any different scheme changes? And what is kind of he like behind the scenes?
Nah, Coach Bush is a great coach. Coach Bush is a funny coach. Like he's actually funny, you know. He's like a young coach, so he gets the guys, you know, we can laugh, joke with him, but like he's a genius. Like we have a new D line coach named Devin Santana and Coach Bush. Like those are the geniuses of our defense. Like it's stuff that we're gonna have a good year this year. Like when Coach Pelizzi left and they said it was Bush was our coach, like we had no problem with that. Like I feel like most of our team was excited because we like Coach Bush as a person. Like we actually love Coach Bush. So when he got that, we was just out proud for him, and now we just know we got to put in work.
You mentioned you kind of beat me to my next one. And I was going to ask you about Coach Santana, man. I'm an Auburn grad, so I remember when he was on that staff. He coached some guys who were going to end up in the league in the future and has already ended up in the league. When you kind of took a look at his background and what he can do as a D line coach, man, and when you look at him, what has your relationship building been like for him now over his first, few months on campus?
Man, my relationship has been great. Like ever since he stepped in, he told me like when he stepped in, he asked me like, "What do you see for a coach? What do you Like I asked him, like, I want you to demand it from me because last year I had a good season, but like that's just step one. I just gotta keep going and everything. I was like, I want you to demand it from me. Like certain plays people can do, like if I'm doing it, like get on me and like he really been doing that. Like at certain times in film and practice, I didn't slack on the player, so I'm like he'll get on me like way harder. Like and then at the end of me, it was like you told me, like you wanted me to do it, like. So I really like the way he coached, man. Then every day we putting in extra work with him. He helping us on our pass rush game. He having us watch NFL teams, how they pass rush. He having us like he just growing our minds for real with the game of football for real. Like he's growing our minds.
When you look at your career, man, you've achieved a lot, man. Two-time conference champ. I've mentioned all the All-American, the All-Conference honors. What does Daylan Dotson want to achieve this season?
What I want to achieve season, I want to get the team sack record. I feel like I can. Like it's only 11 away, but first off, I want to get that national championship. Like, yeah, the awards can come later, but I want that national championship. I feel like if I get that national championship, everything is gonna fall in line. Because if I get that national championship, I'm gonna be the OVC champ. Be the OVC champ, then they're gonna look at me for first team, All American, all that. So my goal this year is national championship. I know if I go my hardest and I actually go every play and try to get national championship, yeah, I'm gonna get the awards. Yeah, it's gonna come, but I'm trying to focus on my team right now. I feel like we built a team, everybody can get blessed. Everybody can get blessed. If our team goes up, everybody can get blessed.
Looking at your game, man, taking a step back, I want you to compare true freshman Daylan Dotson, fresh stepping on campus, man, to the guy I'm talking to now. What's the single biggest developmental change that you've seen in your game?
Maturity, in high school, like you just be bigger, stronger, faster than guys. So I used to run past people, talk my talk from here and there. But like, yeah, it's been some humbling experiences in college here and there. So like now I'm more mature. Like I know the ins and outs now. Like I know it's certain stuff. Like yeah, I can be more athletic than you, or you can have a little up on me. But if I'm using this type of technique, I'm going to win every time. So like I didn't know that first coming. I was just, oh, I'm just running around him, or I'm gonna just try to do this. But now I'm like, oh yeah, I do this, put my hands here. So like he just defenseless for real.
Shift into some quick hitters, man, to let people get to know you. When you look at your game, who is a current or former NFL player that you feel like your game models the most?
I try to model my game after Matthew Judon and Brian Burns, like those type of guys, you see in the backfield every play. They wear the long sleeves. They have their own celebration. Like they got their own swag to the game. And I like how they play football for real.
You get a sack, man. What's your go-to sack celebration?
My go-to sack celebration, man. Last year, the guy classified like the Matt Judon when he goes all across his face. Yeah, I'm trying something new this year, though. I don't know. I gotta see though. I gotta come up with my own little swag.
Hey, the mass celebrations are undefeated. It seems like the OVC, man. There were so many players that I just from me going to cover games, like Gino had the mass celebration for the touchdowns where he would come and
Yeah,
pull it over his face. You guys had it across. I was like, the OVC kind of like trademarked that mass celebration last season. So I love it.
yeah.
When you look at your career, man, what was your welcome to college moment on the field?
My welcome to college moment. I feel like my welcome to college moment was we played WKU. Like this was like the first actual season after COVID. We played WKU, and I was like big. I was like playing like nose. I was playing nose, tackle, and then like
Mm.
it was like a couple plays at nose. Like I was like, yeah, I need to get myself back right. Like I wasn't getting thrown around anything, but I was like, yeah, these some boys. Like so after playing them, like after seeing like my first like FBS team, like that really set me straight. Like I really need like seeing my first FBS team was my welcome to college moment because some FCS teams be good, some be cool, but like you know how they look at us. So when we played the FBS team, and I was out there, I was making my little plays. I was like, okay, I'm here now. Like I'm here now.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of, especially at the FCS, a lot of guys welcome to college, man, because FCS guys, you can come in and start as a true freshman, and then you got to go play a Western Kentucky or Virginia or someone like that, and that's where a lot of those welcome to college moments come from. Listen, man, I played offensive line. I know how intense it can get in the trenches. For you, how big of a trash talker are you in between those white lines?
Man, bro, I'm a huge one. I ain't gonna front, man. It's like sometimes my coaches be having to ask me to tone it down in practice. Sometimes again, I'm the type of guy like laugh with the ref, play with the ref. So like when it's time we'll get into it, like he'll let me slide a little bit. But like on the field, I'm on the field. I'm more focused. But like in practice, like that's the environment in our practice though. Everybody talk trash from like coaches. Like if something just happened to you, like you're gonna hear about it. You're gonna hear about it.
I think that's a good DNA of like all great teams. Like if you can't talk trash with your coaches and other teammates during practice, you guys probably aren't pushing each other to get better
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, that's
You
all it
got
is. That's all it is, bro. Because at the end of practice, we go to the sideline, we hug up. I was talking about it some of my friends today. It was a guy that we had named Marlon, a new receiver that came in. Like I was talking trash to him. I was like, you ain't doing that. Then he went and scored on us. I went and doubted him out. Like, bro, that's what I needed. That's all I needed to do is bring you along. That's it.
one-on-one on the outside, man. What's the number one mistake an offensive lineman can make against you?
Jump setting me because I feel like I'm athletic enough. Like I can take that step and go right back inside. Like I don't feel like there's a lot of old linemen that can stop me from like beating them across their face because like I'm not slow. Like there's a lot of people that like because I'm big and everything, but like, I can really run. Like in practice, I run the linebackers. Like I can really run. Like that's the worst thing old lineman can do is jump set me or come at me with low hands because we going straight past you. Like I'm not even finna play around with you.
I think the first time I looked at your film, man, because I didn't look at your measurements first. I was watching the film. I thought you weighed like 240, 250. Man, when
Mm-hmm.
I saw you were like 280 on the website, I was like 280.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, there ain't no way.
I lost a couple that like last year I played season and like I was like 260.
Okay.
I was like 260 throughout the season. Like the last 2-3 games, I was probably like 255, 250. Like I don't get no lower than 250. Like I was
That
like 260 for real. That's how I play my season. I start my season at 260, 265.
That's insane, man. Hey, that's wild that athleticism is still there at that size, man. I think that's why the Senior Bowl identified you as one of the top prospects coming out as well on their watch list, man. Looking at you got one play, man. You got to get to the quarterback. You know they're passing. What's your go-to pass rush move?
Man, I'm going stab swipe. Like I'm putting my hand straight into your chest to see what you give me. As soon as you give me, if you go low, pin your wrist over with. You go high, I can ghost. You feel me? If you try to point me to the sideline, I'm going long on you. It's a progression to that move. So like, as soon as I get my stab in, whatever he gives me, I'm going right off of him.
Man, I love it. When you look at your career, man, at the collegiate level, we'll leave the money games, the FBS games out of it. But who are one or two of the best offensive players you've ever had to face?
Um, One or two. We played Kennesaw State quarterback last year. Like he was a good player. I feel like he was one of the top players I had to face. And one of my receivers from my high school, his name Tyrone Scott. He played for Missouri State.
Mm-hmm.
Last year he put it up on us.
Oh
He
yeah.
put it up on us. He put it
Hey,
up on us.
he had a career game, and
Yeah, he put
listen,
it up on us.
he's just different. I mean, I think he catches you off guard though, man, because like you feel like you can put your hands on him, and
Yeah,
then you try to jam him.
he weighs stronger than he looked like. But so after the game, I had number love for him. I went and hugged him and everything. I was mad at him. I was like, bro, why you did us, bro? Why you did us like that, bro?
Oh man, hey, shout out to him, man. I know we got his shot at the next levels, man. Shout out to him, man, for going to ball out. But the final two questions, Daylan, man. The first one is you waited your turn at UT Martin, man. You broke out with an All-American season. When you look at your overall journey, man, what would it mean to you to be one of the next guys from the FCS to hear your name called in the NFL draft?
Man, that would mean everything, man. That would be a huge blessing. That would be something that I grinded for my whole life. Like getting to this point, that's something I grinded for my whole life. So I just thank God for it. So if I like when I make that or when, because I'm already knowing it's already written, it's already put in the book. I'm already knowing it's gonna be my time soon. So whenever it happens, it just happens. I'm just all I gotta do is give glory to God because He just put me in a position to keep going.
If an NFL franchise comes to you and asks what they're going to get in Daylan Dotson if they select you in one of the upcoming NFL drafts, man, what do you tell them?
I'm not gonna say like the cliche, you're gonna get a hard worker, you're gonna
Yeah.
get this like what you expect me to come in to do, I'm gonna do way more than that. Like I'm already come from the FCS, so we got that, chip on our shoulder, how people feel about us, and they're saying, like since high school I barely got to UT Martin. Like all this just been me and hard work. So like I'm an example of hard work.
And
You gonna see, like if you get me, you gonna see. Like that's all I'm telling them. Like you gonna see. Like don't try to put a label on me. I don't want to be like when you get me, you gonna see. Cause if I make it there, like that's your job. I know you gotta feed your family by recruiting me. I gotta feed my family by being on your team. So if we both doing what we gotta do to feed our family, I'm not gonna let you down. Like I'm not gonna let my mom, dad down. I'm not gonna do that.
Man, I can hear the motivation, man. Quick follow up. Is that a decision you're going to make after the season? I know you technically still have 2 years of eligibility left. Is it just going to be a let's see how I perform this year, or are you definitely coming out after this season?
Like if I perform the way I want to perform, then we'll see. But
Okay.
I just wanna focus on Georgia week 1. Like I want to focus on Georgia week 1. Whatever happens, then it's week 2. Like I'm just taking it week by week. That's it. That's all I want to focus on is a team.
Hey man, I love the mindset and talk about a money game to start out week 1, man. Go out there and ball out against Georgia. I don't think there's any better opponent, man, to show the scouts and everyone out there, man, that you belong. But Daylan, I appreciate you hopping on the show, man. This was a blast. Let people know where they can find you on social media, man. Keep up with your journey.
You can find me on Twitter at Daylan Dotson. You can find me on Instagram at DAY1AN underscore. That's really it for real. I don't really be on too much of the other socials. You can just follow me on there. Follow me on Twitter, man. For real, for real. You can get at me.
Guys, make sure to go follow my guy Dalen on all social media, man. One of the, like I said, one of the top players in the FCS, going to be looking to lead UT Martin to their third consecutive OVC title, get back to the playoffs, man, and earn another year of All American honors, man. But for Daylan Dotson, for myself, and for the Blue Bloods guys, we are out for right now.